Hi, Luis.
Hi.
So I just noticed on the photos that we kind of look alike. I think we're not too far away. You're in a European. I'm from the south of France.
Okay,
and
yes,
Portugal,
I'm from Portugal.
so maybe
Yeah.
he's the artist, so that you know which way to look at.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
And we're very happy to have you
I'm happy to be
today.
here.
Like I was saying, I apologize. I just had 2 hours standing and teaching drawing, but because we are going to talk about drawing, it's a very good moment. So the first thing, I think most people here are already familiar with your work. So how can we describe it? Like a pointillism based?
No, it's actually everything cross-hatching. There's no pointillism.
Okay, so that's something I actually want to go towards. I would like to start with when your website appears, there is only one time where I see slow craft illustration.
Yes.
And I love this term, and it only appears when you actually Google the page. Once you click, then everything is gone.
Yeah.
Can you tell me something about slow, as in walking slowly, or working exactly in the time that it needs to be done?
It's basically almost all my drawings. I can draw. I draw cats, and all the cats that I draw generally will take 5 to 7 days to complete the drawing, because I draw line by line to make all the fur of the cat. So that's basically it. Slow craft illustration, because it is really slow.
But at what point, for example, because you mentioned, for example, we're going to talk about meditation, and it's a meditative process.
Yes.
How much is it a meditative process, and how much is it like a mindfulness process, which is a bit different?
Yeah, it has to be. You have to kind of zone out so that you can stay so many hours doing line by line. It's like you would be always doing the same thing, line by line, but very slowly creating something out of it. So you have to be in a sort of meditation state. It's the only kind of meditation that I do.
Yeah. And going back to slow craft illustration, so we have craft.
Yeah.
That would mean really doing everything hand-based. You're working almost always traditionally?
Yes. The cats are all drawn with pen on paper, fine liners.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I complete the drawing of a cat, I will scan it, and then I will do the color work in the iPad, digital work. So
what's your thought process? Why moving to digital and not, for example, to move to watercolors, which would work?
It's just, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. It was just the way it was. I started learning how to paint digitally, and it made more sense for me. I would like one day to get to know how to work properly with watercolor, because you can't do any technique with the pen on paper to put color that will really work well. Watercolor would be one of it, but I don't do it. I've never passed the time that is needed to get good at it. So I only know how to paint oil painting, and it doesn't go with pen on paper.
It doesn't work, yeah. Because since you already have a proper workflow or mindset where you're capable of sitting for hours, I think watercolor would then work really well, because there is a mix of being very patient, but also very decisive. You know,
Yes.
Watercolor is, in that sense, merciful, but also merciless.
Yeah.
It says, look, this is the layer you've put on. And so that's why I was curious, because it works really well with ink, watercolor and ink. Ink provides like a very strong graphical element, and then watercolor kind of flows in. But that's just a personal, very subjective
I
preference.
completely agree. The thing is, in my working process, as I spend so much time with each cat, it kind of compensates going to digital, so that I can create in a faster way, because today's world also needs for you to give new content in a fast way.
Yeah. So there is like a huge stretch of time, and then suddenly, boom.
Yeah.
This goes to the computer and
can
done.
take 1 week to draw a cat for a comic, and then I can make 10 comics of that cat maybe in 10 minutes. This is an exaggeration, of course, but it's just to show you how one thing compensates the other.
In Japanese culture, there's the concept of johakyu, where things start very slowly and then build up and then finish very, very, suddenly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this where you say, oh, I will spend, if needed be, you will spend 10 days to a cat.
Yes.
But the last 10 minutes are like crunch into 10 minutes. So that's pretty interesting because it still means you probably have very strong focus at the end to make it happen. And at what point do you have already, let's say, the little wisdom shared about the cat? Is it like in the beginning or is it at the end?
No, I don't. When I draw a cat, I'm only thinking about illustration. I'm not thinking about any words or things that cat can say. I will discover that at the end.
Yeah. What does this cat has to say?
Yes.
So there were a few there is a bit of vagueness with this term pointillism, and as you immediately corrected, you're doing cross-hatching.
Yes.
For me, from a more like realistic illustration standpoint, cross-hatching has to do with form. Mm-hmm. And so I'm always, the teacher mindset is like, oh, you can't cross-hatch like this, because you're not cross-hatching form, you're cross-hatching the surface.
Yes.
And I want to know, how much do you think about the form of the cat, like the actual three-dimensionality? Or is it just a surface cut on the paper?
At the beginning, I will do some shapes with a pencil, trying to find the form that I like, very simple shapes. And then when I get to a shape that I like, I will start hatching. And then maybe at the end, the shape that I previously draw with pencil will not be exactly what the final shape of the drawing, because I will allow myself to cross-hatch out of that shape if I feel like it is needed. Mm. So I will still discover what is going. I have no idea what will happen.
Well, you have the idea that a cat will appear.
Yes, only that.
So I went back, like I said, I love to investigate a bit deeper, and you're the first artist that I investigate where I cannot really find. There is cats. A few dogs, somewhere in 2019.
A few what?
Dogs.
Dogs, yes.
And then nothing. I do not know, and I would love to know, why cats? And then, do you draw anything besides cats?
Not now. I don't know if I could draw anything else right now, because it's been a lot of years drawing only cats. But the thing is that when I first started to take this drawing thing seriously online, like let's try to make a living out of it, I was drawing a lot of creatures, different creatures, and I wanted to connect with people. And every time I would draw a cat, the cat would connect more with people. So it was like my vehicle. Cats were like my natural vehicle to connect with people. And so just naturally they ended up being occupying the total space of my art. Just because I'm looking for that connection, emotional connection with people, yes, where I can really say something that might help someone or make someone smile. Yeah.
So you want to talk to people, and then you found that this is where you got the actual feedback.
People decided, you know.
People, want the cats.
Yeah.
It's really interesting when Wawa Wiwa, who is the comic artist who will also be on Sunday, had the other issue where he's changing all the time his figures. Yeah. And I will on Sunday we will talk about that. Like, you settled for the cat, and you're like, no, through the cat I can talk. And for him, it's like once he's done one, it's like, oh my God, what's the next one? What's the next one? And so his approach is a bit different, where each different element can be a vehicle through their own different form. You know, like fruits, he has vegetable. And you had a different where you want to share more of a wisdom, maybe. And then if the cat has to be that vehicle, then so be it.
Yes, it's more like my own exploration of life in general, you know. I create almost daily new comics, almost daily, 4 years. And every day I wake up not knowing what I'm going to say. I have no idea in my mind. And then I just try to create something. I stay with my thoughts for a while and I try to see if it makes sense. Sometimes you do something that really connects with people, sometimes you don't. It's natural. And, well, that's what I do.
There is one line that I caught from one of your interviews that I loved. It's, I do it because it is good for me.
Yes.
And this simplicity of intent is so, it's a very good lesson, I want to say. So many people say, oh, I need to do it because this and that, like they put higher ambition. But the way you say, I just come unprepared into this one day, doing the thing, and then into the next day and the next day. This is where probably, mindfulness comes in very handily. Then you can reset the canvas every day, sort of.
Sometimes it's also stressful. It's not always mindful, but it's part of being alive, you know?
Yeah,
it will go into your heart too, stressful moments, it will go into everything. But yes, the purpose is to find that sweet spot of mindfulness when you can. Sometimes you can't. It's normal.
And you have a cat yourself?
Yes. When I started the project, I did not have a cat, but almost 2 years ago, a cat found me. He decided to go to my mother's house for 2 weeks, waiting for me. And when I arrived there, he put herself in front of me, and a relationship started. She now lives with us for almost 2 years, and it's very, and it's a black cat.
Black cat.
Yes, it's like I draw.
So you're taking it as an acknowledgement from the universe that you're doing the things. There's a small story, like a old Chinese philosophical story that I really enjoy from the Chuang-Tzu. If you're familiar, Chuang-Tzu, which is like fabled Chinese philosopher, and he crosses a bridge with his friend Huizhu, and one of them tells the other, "Look at the fishes going, flowing through the river. They flow because this is their nature. Therefore, this is the happiness of fishes." And the other one wants to be annoying, and he's like, "Well, how do you know that the fishes are happy? Because you're not a fish." And then the first one said, "Well, how do you know what I know?" And so, and then they start to go into puns like, "I know because I am on that river." And also, you already acknowledge that I know it because you ask me, "How do I know that I know?" You know, so they're playing with a lot of word puns, but I think one of the key elements here is that, well, we don't know, but this is our nature. We, as humans, we are inquisitive. That's our actual nature, like not knowing.
Yes.
And for some people, they might say, well, the fish knows by not knowing. He's just swimming. So there's a bit of Chinese
maybe the
philosophy
point
in there.
of life is just to be lived.
Yes, like the fish does what fish does, which is flowing through the river.
Yeah.
So you're not drawing fishes?
No, I did draw 1 or 2, but maybe someday I'll get back to another drawings, whenever people decide.
When the audience says, draw fishes?
Yeah.
The only reference point I could find in one of your previous interviews was Maurice Sendak, that you mentioned as something that, where the wild things are. You know that book?
Ah, yes.
Yes. And I thought, that was a very interesting connection to make, especially with these like flattened textures.
Yes.
One huge difference is that he has a narrative, so it's a story.
Yeah.
Have you made any story beyond like 1 panel or 4 panels?
No, we are different. I am a person from a different time. I am an artist because of the internet, and I would probably never be an artist without the internet. The thing is that the internet has a lot of good things, but in some aspects you will be also limited by what you can create that will fit that place. I do intend to create narratives in the future whenever I have the time. It's not the moment yet, but I hope it's close.
But do you feel that could be a question actually, how much do you feel you're doing it because you're in that flow state, and how much do you feel there's a bit of a expectation from the internet after a certain, there's a threshold, and now it's like the internet saying, okay, what's the next one? What's the next one?
I need to prepare myself. I don't know. I'm just exploring too, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
No. So you said that before that. Was there anything between, let's say studying, you studied advertising maybe?
No.
Sorry.
No, I actually, in terms of studies, I only have the minimum school in my country because I didn't fit in the system. So I've worked in factories, call centers and all that. And during that time, I would practice drawing and I would take workshops and classes for specific things. Like, for example, I had a class just for oil painting, another class just for comic, another class just because that's what I wanted to do. And when I felt confident enough about my craft and was exploring by myself, not wanting to go to any kind of workshop anymore, I've decided to create this project. Nothing related to advertising.
So that, sorry. That's why maybe it's difficult to find like other illustration if you really just started with this and then that went like almost non-stop for like 6 years now, 7?
7, 8, yes.
Do you know what was the time where it really like blew up?
No, it was pretty fast, but for me, blowing up was I would just need to get a few likes from people that I didn't know as a feedback that was like, okay, someone likes this. So for me, it was like already nice, and it would give me motivation to continue. And then it was a slow grow up from there. I remember the first time a post really went viral for me. It was a funny situation. It was, I forgot the name of that social media. Reddit. I draw a fat cat, and the title was a fat cat. I drew with Micron pens, which is the brand of the pen that I do. So everybody read micro penis. So because of that, it went viral. Not for the drawing, but
that's what made you famous.
Yeah. That was what. Yes, it's funny.
Going back to one thing, you said that having likes from people you don't know. I think it's really a moment with artists online, because we always get likes from like our friends, our mom, and then there's someone who is like, they don't care about me, but they actually like the art. Yeah. So it's not just like, we're cheering for you. But it's like legit people. Yeah, I can see the difference.
Friends are super important at the beginning because they are cheering for you. They really are. But it's when you start getting outside that circle, where you really find the motivation to
where the node connects to really an unknown network of people, which is by now your audience, but maybe also like different comic creators and so on. I want to show you a cat. Unfortunately, people won't see it. There's an artist called Tsuguharu Fujita, who is a French-Japanese artist, who was really, really making beautiful cats like about 100 years ago. That's from 27.
Oh, wow.
So that's Fujita. Maybe some people are aware of him. He was a Japanese person living in French, artist, and making amazing cats. But like this, even though it's almost 100 years old, I think it fits the internet. I think.
No doubt.
Wait, my daughter does. So I can try to show with the best of my abilities. Does anybody? Do you see the cat? So that's from 1927, and it already has the face ready to do some mess on the table. There are a few artists, like cat artists, that I found extraordinary because it's such a characterful creature. And it's a creature that has some sort of predictable pattern. So we can say, oh, but my cat is moving all the time. Yes, but it's always moving the same way. So you can go back to sketching it, and start to catch like the signature of a cat in general, and also your cat, and still bring like this a lot of whimsicalness. Yes, whimsical. Yeah. So even though you say you might be like a child of the internet, even the internet itself has so much of a past that is good also to bring, to kind of expand from only doing. I understand the rhythm of internet, which is what it is. The same way in the 90s, if we ask people for their 80s and 90s, like, oh, how do you draw the comics? They will always say, well, I need to deliver by 8 in the morning for the morning newspaper. So there was a rhythm to comics, and then in web comics, even though we're free, technically, as you know, we're not. No. Because there's still an expectation, there's algorithmic tyranny that says, well, you better post or else.
I think you have to make your peace with the fact that you don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes you just you do a comic to post it online, and it's just, okay, this is the best I can do today. I don't know if it is good or not. And I like it, but I don't know how it will resonate with the audience.
Yes.
Sometimes you are not putting much faith in a specific comic, and it blows up. And sometimes you put a lot of faith, and people just don't connect as much with it. So you got to make your peace with that it's unpredictable.
So is there a cat that you loved in particular and just didn't get any attention, that you want people to give a second chance?
No. No.
No.
No.
You love all of them. That's the same.
No. Also no.
So you let people decide for themselves.
At this point, I've drawn hundreds of cats, and I don't have that in my mind.
Yes, yes, yes. Because sometimes some artists might say, oh, I really, really love this one. And it's like, look at my drawing. And sometimes the other way, we might not be happy with the result.
I am never fully happy with the result. It's like I can have a moment where I am fully happy, and then it goes away. Like, I could do this better, I could,
Yeah.
I start analyzing it again.
And so, when you look for when it's time to look for let's call it wisdom that you bring with the cat, is there a place, like, are you taking notes all the time somewhere and you have them, like a back catalog of sentences? Or
I now have a Patreon, and one of the things I do every morning, Monday to Friday, well, normally today I did not because I'm here, but normally I stay like 1-2 hours writing what I call a daily purr, which is mostly text, and it's like delivering thoughts to my patrons. Thoughts. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. What I usually do is it can be anything, Sometimes I already have an idea because something happened in my life. Sometimes I go to the internet, and the first sentence that appears that seems like, okay, I want to think about this, make me feel that way. Then I get that sentence and I start thinking about it, writing about it, to see if there's anything that I can explore to say to my patrons that maybe, just maybe, can make them smile or can give them a way to look at things that might help them in their specific situation that I don't know what it is.
So I didn't know that you have this sort of already like more selected circle of people, which are Patreon subscribers. And so you share a sort of automatic process of throwing words.
Yes.
And they have feedback. They have they will comment back and.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So it's never from vacuum. It's like some sort of
sometimes yes.
think tank.
Sometimes it's from vacuum. Sometimes an idea just comes out and you make something. Yesterday I was talking with Andres from Wawa Comics. I was talking about a comic that I made that told. In that comic, I tell my audience to poop well.
To what?
Poop well.
Oh.
And that comic actually was made because a friend of mine was in hospital. She had to go through a surgery, and to get out of the hospital, she would have to poop.
To make sure everything works.
Yeah, so I made it for her, and then it worked really well online. Sometimes it comes just from specific events that in a moment you say something about it.
Yeah, and it keeps things grounded. I mean, most people hear poop,
yes.
I hope.
That's why I decided to say to everyone.
Like the daily life shouldn't be discarded just because we are like on the internet or overly like overthinking everything. And it's true that actually having like constipation problem can ruin like the day or the week. So I guess it's the bigger thing about just physical health also, like keeping yourself in check. Do you have meditation practice outside of?
Oh, yeah, I draw as my meditation process. Sometimes I do breath work, which would be also a little bit of meditation. I think running is also a kind of meditation. I go
Running?
for a run, yeah, almost every week I go. I try to go at least one time every week. And now I'm trying to start my days doing some kind of Tai Chi practices, just you know, to stretch the body and get your energy good to start your day.
Do you have nice place to run around your town? Like,
Yeah.
is it a more
Yeah,
natural
if
town?
if it's not raining, it rains a lot.
Okay.
It's hard to keep like a schedule that is. If you want to run every week, if you gotta make your peace with running in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we stay philosophical, the rain shouldn't bother more than the good weather
But
or bad
it
weather. Or
bothers.
there's no bad weather in a way.
Yeah, but it bothers. Truth is that if you want to run and it's cold, it's harder to do it than if you are living in a place where there is a shiny
Yeah,
sun.
yeah. You saw today was pretty hard rain in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, but it's the weather here is very close to the weather that I have in my part of Portugal. Like today, it's most of the year there.
Okay. Closer to the sea then maybe.
I don't know. It's just that place in specific.
Oh,
in
that
Portugal.
one time.
Yes.
Oh, I wanted to ask, but you kind of answered that one. Because you said it yourself that you kind of exist on the internet mostly. But I wanted to ask then, do you have...
What do you mean by that?
Most of your work is on the internet.
Ah,
Right?
yes.
It's like online. It exists on... Oh, you have a book. So let's talk. We can talk about that. I wanted to ask how physically... because as someone who got a bit tired of the internet, you know, endless racing, and now with generative AI kind of just putting a lot of noise on top of everything, it's nice to locally engage with, you know, artists. And I want to ask, like, do you have like local, in your town, like community where people can just be like
because
sketching together? Or
No, because I'm always working. I don't have a social life. Not much, you know.
Yeah.
I have a social life in the internet, but the true social life. I used to have a very, very big social life when I used to live in Barcelona. But then when I decided to become a professional artist, trying to make this my living, I went back to Portugal to focus completely. And I was living in Barcelona for 13 years. So when I got back to Portugal, I am in that place where I don't have many friends there. Not close anymore, you know. So, and I have to spend a lot of hours working. So it's really hard to have a big social life, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to. So it's okay.
if you don't have the need to for some artists, they love to have at least a few artists, you know, that they can sketch together or even show, you know, the
my
work.
sketch will take 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay. Yes, if you start cross-hatching everything, yes. But you did have that book.
Yes, my first one, my first experience.
Did you, for example, were you able to locally find a place where you could sign the book?
No.
Or are you interested in doing so?
Actually, this is my first time ever coming to meet people that might know my art. Today was the first time that I met someone telling me, I know your art.
Really?
Yes. And it feels good. It's a good
Yeah, how
event.
was it? Yeah, because now your art is like physically, you know, it's printed in those boards and you have people.
I don't know if anyone
want to
here
see.
already knew my work before. Yes? Okay, so this is new for me. Thank you.
So they are, I think on internet, like over 1 million.
In Instagram, yes, over 1 million,
Yeah.
yes. And but I'm
And some
in,
of them are
in-
here, so it's
yes,
just amazing.
I'm in other social media too.
Which one is the most like fruitful?
Instagram.
Yeah.
It's where it reaches more people. But then, like, internet is crazy, you know. Sometimes I might get more impact in a specific post, in a specific comic, in a different social media. So if anyone is trying to start as an illustrator or comic artist in the internet, I would recommend to be in as many social media as possible, at least for some time, because sometimes you'll find one social media in particular that will flow better for you.
Is there one that is not Instagram that you would recommend as interesting, especially for artists, that has bring more fruits?
I think they are all interesting.
Yeah.
They are just different. I think you have to have a healthy relationship with that too. For example, in my case, because I am in so many, I just use internet for work. Because I already it already consumes much of my time, so I basically use it only for work, and I go to a social media, and apart from that thing I told you that I do every morning, so sometimes I go check what's the first sentence. I go at any social media on my For You page, and what's the first sentence that brings something to your mind. Apart from that, I usually don't scroll to find,
Yeah.
you know.
So it's really good to use it to find, like you put your intent before turning it on, and you're like, I need this thing, I have it, it's over.
Yeah.
Same way some artists who are posting everywhere are actually not using them. Some of them, they uninstall every day Instagram, they reinstall it, they post their thing, they uninstall it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they say, it's not like, they were saying, it's not that I'm any better than anybody else, it's like I would not be able to stop. So they do it as a self-lock. Yeah.
It's too much.
And they said it's the only way I can continue producing. So they just cannot see even the feedback. And sometimes you might, like with bigger comic creators, you might not get any response. But it's normal if there is like 300 comments every day from every social media. Like, do you want the person to make art, or do you want him to respond to every single one? Yeah. Unfortunately, that's kind of... it's kind of the price to pay, I guess, to use social media. Do you feel that by now you have like ritualized those moments in your day, like on a day-to-day? Do you know, like at 9 o'clock I start this, at 5 o'clock I'm done? Or are you still able to kind of
it's very
navigate freely?
Anarchy.
But peaceful anarchy?
Yes, most days it's peaceful, but it's a very anarchic process for me. Because I wake up whenever I naturally wake up. That can be some days at 5 a.m. and other days at 11 a.m. I don't put that pressure in me. Like, okay, just wake up when you need to.
And for example, when you had the book publishing, probably you had more tight deadlines and feedback and things working with the publisher?
Yes.
Was it more stressful or more exciting? Or?
Yeah, I don't remember now. Was it more stressful? I don't know. I would have to be super organized at that moment to make everything happen at the same time. But I don't think it was very stressful, no. I had plenty of time to work things. But yes, it was my first experience creating a book. And I had to think in different ways for that, sometimes.
And for a big publisher, because it's...
yes.
They have like Bill Watterson in there.
Yeah.
It's a big name. Yeah. So it must have been quite exciting. Did they reach you?
No, my agent, before being my agent, contacted me, telling me that she told me, look, I think we could do a book. And I said, okay, I never thought about it, but let's try it. So, and she reached out to a few publishers with my work to see who might be interested in a book from me. And this publisher, they said, yes, I want. And so we started working.
Okay, so it was through an agent.
Yes, through an
agent.
And
can you tell us what's the process to look for an agent? And
I didn't look.
An agent found you?
Yes, I didn't look.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, most of the times I don't look for things.
They things find you?
Yeah.
It's good philosophy to keep everything in check.
It's already too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's many times, of course, when you start reaching millions of views online, it's natural that a lot of things will come to you, and you have to decide what should you do with that. Sometimes, most of the times, you have to say no, or not even answer because you don't have the capacity to
say no.
To not to say no, that to give all those answers. It's not human. It's not possible for you to continue to be at peace and do all at the same time. So you gotta make peace with the fact that sometimes you won't be able even to answer people.
Was there some that you were really interested in, but they were just not possible?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. So if there's one that interests you, you take it and
Yes.
it happens?
Yes, generally yes.
You
And now, for example, now I am participating in one exhibition with only one piece, one drawing that took me more than a month to complete. The exhibition is in the United States, and it is in a psychedelic gallery. And so, because it is an exhibition that is in honor of Louis Wayne. Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Yes,
Very
there
much.
will be 2 or 3 originals from him. And it was like the first, maybe the first person that illustrator that focused completely on cats. And the person reached out to me. I'm not used to doing exhibitions and that. And reached out to me, and I saw the project and said yes. And I worked on it through a month, and and it was not about the money, you know. It was not like I don't know if I will make any money out of this. Probably not. And I stayed 1 month just giving energy to that project because it excited me.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone else is familiar with Louis Wayne, W-A-E-N. It's British, amazing British cat illustrator from the late 19...
Yes, and he got crazy. He what's the name of
Schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia, yeah. And he was the first, many people say that he was the first psychedelic painter because he started really, through his schizophrenia, he started painting things like many psychedelic painters do today.
Yes. Kind of acid-looking cats.
Yes, acid-looking.
But before that, most of the cats had this traditional, like English countryside life, the very expressive little cats playing, like grown-up cats doing grown-up stuff, and little cats messing around. So it's very beautiful things to look at. I didn't know about that exhibition.
Yeah, it's recent.
Okay.
It's very recent. It's going to be this month.
And you won't be able to or will you be able to travel to see?
No. But the drawing is already there. That's
Okay.
the important thing.
So today and this weekend, you will have chance to actually directly meet everyone who has seen your work. Like I had also seen your work, and it's always interesting because the unknown is who made these things on the internet.
But you haven't seen the original drawings.
No.
I invite you to. Anyone that wants to see original drawings, please come to my booth, and
I will
be
definitely,
happy
yes.
to show.
And I'm definitely interested in what you're showing for the Louis Wayne exhibition.
It's the biggest drawing I've ever made.
And you have a plush, the bee.
Yeah, sometimes I do collaborations with companies for merchandise, and plushies are one of those things that I do sometimes.
Does it work? Like even just financially?
Yes, sometimes yes. Other times not as much. Right now I'm a little tired from doing those things, and I want to stay like 1 year without doing any of it. It's just to focus on whatever comes next.
So then that would be a good last question. What comes next?
I don't know.
It's a perfect answer, I guess. Thank you so much, Luis.
Thank you.
Please, mic is open for all of you if you have any questions.
Hello, Paul, Louis. Thank you very much for this talk. I honestly did not know how much work goes into making these comics, and it was all about artistry and technique and everything. So when people call you a comic artist, does that sting? Would you like to be known as an artist, just happens to be in a venue of comics?
I have let people decide what should I draw, cats. So I will let people decide what I am too. It's okay.
All right, thank you.
Hi. You mentioned that you often wake up and you don't know what you're going to make. How do you understand when an idea is worth pursuing and making?
When it starts flowing a little bit. If you start with something and it doesn't take you anywhere in 5 minutes, you leave it. In my case, I do that. I try to do that, or else it will start giving me anxiety, because I will trying to battle something which I might not be prepared for.
You also described yourself as an online artist, that you can't imagine not being an artist on the internet. Has parasocialism ever been an issue for you?
Sorry, can you repeat? I don't know.
Parasocialism?
What is that?
It's when kind of people, I would say your audience gets like very obsessive over you and there's this sort of weird dependent relationship you develop.
I never felt that.
Okay,
So in short, some people they think they're already your friend
No.
because you have touched so close certain emotions that they expect something in return from you. Like, hey, you're my friend. Why are you not replying to me?
I am very lucky that I get a lot of good energy back from people. I try to give good energy to people too, as much as I can. But maybe I know when to put limits, and if I feel like something is off, I simply don't answer.
Okay, fair enough. Speaking of limits, there's obviously a lot of feedback that you encounter online from folks. Whose feedback do you value personally? Are there people whose feedback you accept?
In terms of feedback, in terms of what I create, I think that the most important feedback is when I get. It's every day you see if something works or not, just by the amount of excitement that goes with it. Sometimes the feedback can be just someone tagging a friend, you know, just to send a message to their friend. It's not as much, it's not related directly to me. It's when people use your art to connect with others. That's a very good feedback. And, but you know, if someone is really trying to give me positive or negative feedback regarding my art, I try not to look at it, both the positive and the negative, because I think I live better without it.
I think that's fair enough. And my last question, considering the name of this panel is Pointillism and Purrfection, would you describe yourself as a perfectionist?
I am aware that I will never attain it, but I do try.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much.
You. Thank you.
Hi, and thank you for coming over here. I've been sharing your work with my husband, who asked a question earlier, for years now. And it's been connecting us a lot. Do you consider the cat that you're drawing to be something on inside you, or is it something outside of you, as a concept?
Never thought about it. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I think it can be both. Maybe it can be both.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We're done?
If we don't have anybody else, I just want to say one thing. You had an interesting answer to the question, which was, there are some places where you let people decide for you, and there are some places where you set very clear limits.
Yes.
So, for example, when the question was about, what was it, about positive or negative feedback,
Yes.
you block it regardless. You know,
yes.
But for example, if people decide...
my partner, my girlfriend, sometimes she looks for things and she comes to me, I want to show you this, someone said this, and it's positive. She always comes with, I said, don't tell me, I don't want to know.
But when it's time to pick, which cats resonate to people, which creature, there's a part that you leave to the internet to decide.
Yes.
So...
Because there's a relationship, yes.
Yeah, so some part of the relationship you're okay with, and some parts you're like,
I think it's
clear boundaries.
I think it's very intuitive. You gotta know yourself. Maybe maybe it's because of my personality that I try not to be attached to the positive feedback as much as the negative one, just because I will feel better in my day-to-day, not being attached to feedbacks in general. But at the same time, I am looking for the feedback that can really help me grow in my communication with people as an artist. That I will be looking at it.
Yeah. And the other question, which was great about the naming, do you want to be named as a comic artist? Actually, I jumped a bit on the website. You're as a content creator. And here we still agree that you're a comic artist, which you said, the name doesn't matter. But now you just said, as an artist. So I think those are great. No, but the content creation can mean a lot of things.
Yes, of course.
You could content. Like,
yes.
What is it you're doing? And comic artist is a bit more specific, and then artist is really just someone who communicates. To me, that's what art is about. It's communication. Like, hey, I'm feeling something, or I'm sensing something. I want to tell the other people.
And I want to explore this journey with you.
Yes, like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you feeling what I'm feeling?
Yeah.
So I think artist works the best for you.
Thank you. But as anything could be, because it's also true that I'm a comic artist or just an illustrator, or you say I like to draw. It would be.
Yeah, they're all true in their own respect. Yeah. Thank you. Do you want to say anything else while you have?
No, thank you so much for being here. This is my first time meeting people that already know my art, and you're all very kind. And I'll be there on my booth, and if you want to see original drawings, I'll be very happy to show you. But you need to ask me. Please show me, because I have them apart. Okay? Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luis.